There's a reason I start my mornings with a steaming bowl of oat bran. Not because I'm a health nut. Not because a doctor told me to. But it was a dusty, yellowed paper from 1929 that changed the way I look at food. Back then, at the Mayo Clinic, a small team of researchers made a quiet discovery. Just 40 grams of oat bran daily could reduce cholesterol levels by 25%. No drugs. No side effects. Just oatmeal. But here's the strange part. That study was buried. It sat in the archives for nearly a century, while the world moved on to shiny pills and fancy procedures. Why did we forget something so simple? And so powerful? I didn't even know about it myself. Not until the day I opened my blood test results, and saw 3 words that made my stomach drop: high cardiovascular risk. That day, I returned to something I once thought was for poor folks and grandmas. A bowl of oat bran. And over the next 30 days, I tracked everything: my LDL, my weight, my blood pressure. But something else changed, too. And that's the real story I want to tell you today. Stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, I'll take you back to 1929, walk you through the science, and show you how a forgotten breakfast helped me feel younger, and calmer, than I've felt in years. That night, I stood alone in the kitchen. Still holding that lab report in my hand. High cardiovascular risk. 3 words, and suddenly, every forkful of food I ever ignored came rushing back. I wasn't sick. But I wasn't well. And deep down, I knew it. I opened the pantry to distract myself. That's when I saw it. A dusty tin, still sealed. Oat bran. Bought it years ago when my wife tried a fiber phase. Back then, I laughed. But that night, it felt like the past tapping me on the shoulder. I remembered my childhood. My mom's worn hands stirring a pot on a cold morning. The smell of oats and cinnamon. She used to say, "If your heart's in trouble, start in the kitchen, not the pharmacy." I never listened. But something inside me shifted. I placed the tin on the counter. Looked at it like an old friend I hadn't spoken to in decades. And I whispered, "Let's try again." That was the first night I made the choice. Not a dramatic one. Not a heroic one. Just a quiet promise. No pills. Just oats. 30 days. One honest effort. I used to laugh at people who quoted research. I was a common sense kind of guy. If something didn't feel broken, I didn't fix it. And when I hit my 70s, I figured oatmeal and cholesterol were just another food fad. But then my numbers came back. Cholesterol, 246. LDL, 167. CRP, 6.2. And the doctor's eyes said more than his words. That night, I couldn't sleep. I remembered something Dr. Clark once said in a heart talk I ignored years ago. If you want to fight disease early, start with your plate, not your pills. So I dug through old papers, forums, even PubMed, until I found something that shook me. 1929, Mayo Clinic archives. A clinical study. Real patients. 40 grams of oat bran daily. LDL dropped 15 to 25% in just 4 weeks. No brand sponsorship. No modern agenda. Just raw science that somehow got lost. Cameo, Dr. Marcus Carter, preventive cardiologist. Oat bran contains beta-glucan, a fiber that forms a gel in your gut. That gel grabs cholesterol and carries it out. It's not theory. It's been proven since 1929. The dosage? 40 grams daily. That's your starting line. I sat there, silent. I realized I wasn't just ignoring food. I was ignoring the truth. So I stopped. No pills, for now. Instead, I made a promise. Every morning for 30 days, I followed the same protocol they used in 1929. And to keep myself honest, I created a log. Tracked my meals, my numbers, my sleep. I'll share that with you soon, in case you want to try this with me. Because the science is there. The choice is ours. I wasn't sure I'd last 30 days. To be honest, I've quit more things than I've finished. Yoga lasted 2 classes. That keto diet? 3 days. The treadmill in my basement? Let's just say it holds jackets now. But this felt different. It wasn't flashy. It didn't promise miracles. It was just me, a pot of water, and 40 grams of oat bran every morning. On day 1, I dusted off the old kitchen scale and measured out exactly 40 grams. It looked like nothing, like it couldn't possibly matter. But I told myself, just eat. Show up. That's your job. So I boiled the water, stirred in the oat bran, and waited. No sugar, no milk. Just a pinch of cinnamon and a few blueberries if I had them. I sat by the window, holding the steaming bowl, the morning light spilling across the counter. No phone. No noise. Just me, and a silence I didn't realize I missed. At first, I missed the toast. Missed the eggs, the bacon, the greasy comfort. But by day 5, I noticed something. I wasn't hungry between meals. I stopped reaching for crackers, peanut butter, and trail mix. The cravings just vanished. I started sleeping better, too. No more 3 a.m. wake-up staring at the ceiling. By day 9, I climbed the hill behind my house without wheezing. That hill used to mock me. Now, it welcomed me. On day 12, my neighbor Jim leaned over the fence and said, "You look lighter, Harold." I didn't answer. I just smiled. He was right, my belt had shifted 1 notch. I began to look forward to mornings. Not just the oats, but the ritual. That little window of peace changed how I ate, how I moved, even how I thought. By day 15, I checked my blood pressure at the pharmacy, 128/76. That used to be a dream number. Now it was real. I logged it in my notebook, right beside day 15, oatmeal for heart health. I wasn't just tracking numbers anymore. I was writing about how I felt. In my body. In my head. And for the first time in years, I felt like I wasn't fighting my heart, I was listening to it. On day 18, my grandson visited. He wrinkled his nose at the bowl. "Looks like baby food," he said. I grinned. "It's grandpa fuel." He laughed, and ate with me. That breakfast meant more than any pill I've ever taken. By day 21, I did a home test. It wasn't perfect, but it was enough. Total cholesterol was down 18 points. LDL cholesterol dropped 12. Triglycerides, lowest in years. And even without a lab, I could feel my inflammation was lower. I was breathing easier. Sleeping deeper. Moving smoother. I wasn't cured. But I was changing. Slowly. Quietly. 1 spoon at a time. That same tracker notebook, I've made a printable version. You can download it below and try your 30-day journey. Don't wait for a miracle. Just start. A spoon. A morning. A tiny act of care, for a heart that still has so much life to give. Now, some of you might be thinking, why exactly 40 grams? And why oat bran, not just regular oats? Let me tell you, this part changed everything for me. See, I'd been eating rolled oats for years and assumed I was doing it right. But I was wrong. Regular oatmeal is healthy, yes, but it doesn't have enough of what lowers cholesterol, beta-glucan. Beta-glucan is a type of soluble fiber that forms a thick gel in your gut. That gel traps cholesterol and helps carry it out of your body. It blocks cholesterol absorption. Dr. Carter, preventive cardiologist. To reduce LDL significantly, we need at least 3 grams of beta-glucan per day. You'll only get that amount from about 40 grams of oat bran, not rolled oats, not instant packets. Bran is where the beta-glucan lives. When I first learned that, it hit me like a train. All those years eating oatmeal, I wasn't getting enough fiber to make a real difference. So I switched. Pure oat bran, 40 grams per day, measured with a scale. No guessing. No underdoing it. And here's what else I learned. Not all cholesterol-lowering foods are created equal. You need the dose. You need the form. And you need consistency. Oat bran is one of the few foods recognized by both the FDA and the Mayo Clinic as a natural statin alternative, but only when consumed in the right amount. That's why I kept it simple. No magic recipe. Just 40 grams, every day, same bowl. And that's why I'm sharing this with you. So you don't make the same mistake I did, doing the right thing, but not doing it right. If you've ever tried eating oatmeal for your heart and felt disappointed with the results, you're not alone. I was in the same boat for years. I thought I was doing everything right. Every morning, I'd fix myself a warm bowl of oats. I'd feel good about it. But when my cholesterol numbers barely changed, I got confused. Frustrated. Why isn't this working? I asked myself. Turns out, I wasn't doing it wrong because of a lack of effort. I was doing it wrong because of 3 little mistakes I didn't even realize were mistakes. Let me walk you through them, so you don't repeat what I did. Mistake number 1, I used the wrong kind of oats. I used to buy those instant oatmeal packets from the grocery store. They were convenient, 2 minutes in the microwave, and done. But those packets? They're often packed with sugar, artificial flavors, and barely any fiber left. They might say, heart healthy, on the box. But most of the beta-glucan, the soluble fiber that helps your heart, is lost in processing. Oat bran versus instant oats. Now I know the difference. So if you're wondering, does oatmeal lower cholesterol? Yes, but only if it has enough beta-glucan. Mistake number 2, I didn't eat enough. Some mornings, I just eat 2 or 3 tablespoons. Looked healthy. Tasted healthy. But it was nowhere near the 3 grams of beta-glucan needed to lower LDL. You get that only if you eat about 40 grams of oat bran. That's roughly half a cup dry, not a dusting, not a pinch. I was underdosing my breakfast, and expecting full results. Mistake number 3, I sabotaged my bowl with sugar. I'd add brown sugar. Sometimes maple syrup. A splash of milk. Even whipped cream once. It was delicious, but also a blood sugar spike waiting to happen. I didn't realize that by turning oatmeal into dessert, I was spiking insulin, inflaming arteries, and undoing the cholesterol-lowering effect. Now I top my bowl with cinnamon, flaxseed, chia, or frozen blueberries. It's still tasty, just smarter. If you've made any of these mistakes, don't beat yourself up. I made all 3 for years. The good news is, they're easy to fix. The best way to eat oatmeal for heart health is simple. Choose oat bran, not instant. Measure 40 grams, not guesswork. Top with fiber, not sugar. Sometimes, the difference isn't in what you eat, but in how you eat it. So let me ask you. Which mistake have you made before? Number 1, number 2, or number 3? Drop a comment below. I promise I'll read every single one. If you're still here with me, it means something in this story is connected with you. And for that, I'm grateful. Deeply. You see, I never expected to make videos. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a coach. I'm just a 76-year-old man who once sat in silence, holding a piece of paper that said, high risk. That moment shook me. But it didn't break me. It opened something. And what came after? It was not a miracle. It was a decision. A spoon. A notebook. A walk. And now, a community. I've created a simple tool to help you begin. The 30-day Oat Bran tracker. It's the same one I used, nothing fancy. One page. One purpose, to help you stay consistent. You'll find the download link in the video description. Print it out. Fill it by hand. Or keep it next to your kettle like I do. Because small habits become anchors. And anchors become lifelines. But I also know, it's hard to do it alone. That's why we've built a space. A small, quiet place on the internet called Live Healthy with Harold, our Facebook group. It's not a fan club. It's not a program. It's just people, like you and me. Sharing oatmeal photos, before and after numbers. And cheering each other on when motivation dips. If you feel ready, I invite you to join our 30-day challenge. Post your day one. Or don't post anything, just read. Lurk quietly, like I did the first week. No one will judge you. We'll just be glad you're there. And if you've watched this video to the end, I have a small request. But it might mean everything. Leave me a comment. Tell me, what's one change you'll try this week? Even if it's just waking up 5 minutes earlier. Or replacing toast with 40 g of Oat Bran. Whatever it is, put it into words. Make it real. And if someone comes to mind, a sibling, a spouse, a friend who's been feeling lost, share this video with them. Not because I need more views, but because I know how it feels to stare at a diagnosis alone. And sometimes, the biggest healing doesn't come from pills or superfoods. It comes from hearing someone say, "I've been there too. Let's go through this together." We're not trying to live forever. We're just trying to live fully. With the time we have left. And maybe that starts with a spoon. A sunrise. And the quiet belief that you're not too late. Not now. Not ever.